welcome to episode 67 of Little Bobbins Knits. My name's Danny and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Little Bobbins. We have a Ravelry group which you can find by searching Little Bobbins Knits in the groups tab on Ravelry, and show notes for the podcast can be found at littlebobbins.co.uk. Mum's back again this week. Regular fixture now, aren't you? Mm-hmm. She is. But Mum's finished. You've just had a finishing frenzy, really, haven't you? So lots of things to show you, which is really exciting. So you haven't got any works in progress really, so I'll talk about my works in progress and then we'll talk about our finished objects. And I think just sprinkled in we'll just mention Fibre East and the Southern Wool Show that we went to. Because I think it'll make no sense that way. So yes. Okay, so I'll talk about what I've got on in progress at the moment. Well, I've got this in progress, but I'm really bored of it.
Something to do with sleeves?
Yes. I'm on the sleeves and I'm just...
Such a shame because you really like it, don't you?
I know. I don't actually know what the sleeves are like in the pattern. I think that they're one colour brioche.
Would it be a good idea to look?
Well, no, not now.
Oh.
I've started them in 2 colour brioche because that way it's reversible.
Right.
If I wanted it to be.
Why would you want it to be?
Well, because I could have the...
Oh, okay, I see.
On the outside, or pink.
Or the pink, yeah.
And it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Mm.
But 2 colour brioche, tiny little sleeves, it's just so boring. It's like sleeves boring plus.
I think you need to get over this sleeve thing you've got. Perhaps you need some therapy.
Well, I'm going to surprise you in a minute.
Oh, okay.
And you'll take that right back. But yeah, so I've got to the end of the body. This is the Shisui Shrug by Suzanne Summer. I've done my I-cord bind off. And for my I-cord bind off I used one of my minis from River Knits UK.
Lovely.
You know, she had the lovely wall of minis, so I got quite a few of them and yeah, chose between them. And this orangey colour is actually in some of the speckles, so
yeah, it really picks it up nicely.
Yeah, because I think the speckles are so subtle on this yarn. The speckled one is Dusty Dimples in Exonerate, and they're so subtle that you almost don't see that they're there. But I think having that colour
really
brings out the orange ones, doesn't it? There's blue
does.
ones in there as well, and some pink ones. So yes, the pink that I've used is Kettle Yarn Company in, I think it's Islington base, but I don't think I've got a ball band. It's a merino silk base and it's really lovely.
It is really lovely.
It's got a lovely sheen, but I think it's mulberry silk. I'm not sure. But it's very, very nice to work with. And I do like how the yarns have worked together. But, for the sleeves.
Yeah, it's such a shame because I think you'd probably enjoy wearing that because it's so soft.
I know. And it's like a big blanket. Not that I'm cold at the moment.
No.
So I probably wouldn't wear it. But I think I've only got 40 something rounds to do. And I just can't bring myself to do it.
You will.
Eventually.
At some point. You'll think, oh, I really fancy doing that.
Yeah. Hopefully. So that was my Shisui Shrug that will be revisited at some point. When I can bear the thought of sleeves. But in the meantime, I've cast on 2 new cardigans.
Okay.
So that's exciting.
For you?
Yes.
Okay.
So this one, well, it makes sense to talk about my finished object now, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
When we went to Fibre East, which was lovely, wasn't it?
It was very lovely.
Mum, Auntie Jack and I went, and it was just really, really nice. It was cooler than it had been for a while, and I was just revelling in standing outside in the breeze while Mum and Auntie Jack's lips were turning blue.
You have got your own little temperature at the moment, haven't you?
Yeah. But
that's why I'm surprised you're sat in your cardo.
I know. I have been a bit chilly today. It's been really nice. But the show was really good.
It was.
I got quite a lot of things from the Wool Barn because Maya had just such a beautiful stand, didn't she? And it was full of. It was just full, and it was incredible. And one of the things that I got was the yarn for this, and this is the cashmere sock base in rosewood, the rosewood colourway, and it's just the most heavenly soft yarn, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
It just feels incredible. I just want to knit everything in it now because it's so bouncy and thick. There's nothing sort of mean or thin about it at all. It's just really bouncy and soft and so beautiful and so drapey. And I've had the Vitamin D by Heidi Kermeyer in my wish list to knit for years and years, but I've just never thought of the right yarn, or it's just never got to the top of the list. But then I saw this and I was looking on Ravelry while we were sat having a cup of tea, and the Vitamin D is knit in a sport weight, and this is a fingering weight, but it's very plump, so I thought that might work for the Vitamin D. So I bought it. I got home, I balled it up. I think I cast on that night, and then I just couldn't put it down. It was such a engaging knit, and because the yarn's so beautiful, that just makes you want to keep going. I really like cardigans with this sort of front. I don't know, is it waterfall front or something?
Yeah.
Like the Angelus Novus.
Yeah.
And so I knew I would get an awful lot of wear out of it, and I just couldn't stop knitting it. Let me take it off. It'd help.
Yeah. And Maya's yarn's dyed so beautifully, isn't it?
Well, I didn't alternate my skeins because I really think that you should. I think it's sensible too. But
you can't on this pattern though, can you?
Not
easily.
Not easily, really. But she has just such a precise way of dyeing that I just don't know if you needed to. I certainly didn't need to on this. Sometimes it shows up differently on the camera than it does to your eye, so you might see some variations. But it's just beautiful.
It's very lovely and soft.
Yeah. I made a couple of adjustments to the pattern in that I wanted it to be a bit longer, so I did two more eyelet increases at the bottom. I wanted long sleeves, so I did long sleeves, and I've kept the pattern, so I remember how.
Yeah.
And I found the pattern, so I still know how, which is good. I must write a little bit about that on my Ravelry page. And the cuffs were just a small row of garter stitch, I believe, like what goes round the bottom of the cardigan. And I wanted something different, so I did a garter rib. And this is the same cuff that's on the Angelus Novus.
It's
and I just
nice.
really like it, and I thought it would go well with the bits of garter stitch in elsewhere in the pattern. So it's constructed with short rows, and I did short rows that I saw in a video with Cat Bawdy, which I'll link in my Ravelry page, and they were just so good. I really enjoyed doing those short rows. Usually I quite like doing German short rows, but I actually preferred these, I think, for this particular pattern. And there's no sort of gappy holiness where the short rows are. It's just really, really neat. So I'd recommend having a look at that video and trying out those short rows, because they're just such neat short rows. And I think all in all, the cardigan, because I couldn't put it down, took about 2 weeks from buying the yarn to being finished on the blocking mats, because it was just so unputdownable. And I have worn it several times since it's been finished, and just love it. So yeah, I'm thrilled with that. And because I'm so thrilled with it, I started another one, because I do tend to do that.
You do.
I
Like the Angelus Novus, you've knit 3 now, haven't you?
Yeah, only 2 of mine though.
Yeah, well, you knit 1 for me,
Yeah.
so that's 3.
But I know that there are so many patterns out there, so many wonderful patterns that would be really, really great to try. But I really do like knitting things that I know I'll get a lot of wear out of. So it just makes sense for me to knit similar, or knit the same garment in different yarns, because I know that I'll wear it a lot, and all that time investment, it's really good if it gets worn a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started another one, and this is with a purchase from the Southern Wool Show, which we went to last weekend.
Was it last weekend?
I think it was last weekend.
Oh.
It was at Newbury Showground. It was brand new. It's the first year they had it this year. It was run by the same people who ran the, I think it's called Spring Into Wool in Leeds. And it was interesting, wasn't it? It was very busy.
It was very busy.
Wasn't expecting it to be so busy at all.
No. I was a bit concerned about you getting bumped.
Yeah. Well, I just take up such a lot of space. So, but it was good. There was an interesting mix of stalls, and I'd definitely go again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not that far away from us.
No, it's only about an hour away from us, and we got to meet some nice people, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
So that's always really nice. But I didn't really have a plan of what I wanted to buy when we went. But then I thought, no, I'd really like to get enough for a jumper. And I'd really like to get it from the Knitting Shed, because my next work in progress is with their yarn, and I'm really enjoying it. So we went and looked there for quite a while, didn't we?
We did, and there was lots to choose from, but this yarn really stood out for us, didn't it?
Well, I've liked this colourway from
it's
them
so soft.
for ever since I first knew of them.
What's the base?
It's baby alpaca and silk, 70% baby alpaca, 30% silk.
Yeah.
And this is the linnet colourway, and it's just such a beautifully complex and interesting colour.
Yeah.
There's sort of, what colour would you call that background?
Well, it's sort of like
Taupe. Yeah, I was thinking taupe.
But it's got such
Then it's got
lovely colours.
blacks, it's got oranges, it's got like golden yellows.
Yeah.
And it knits up to just such a beautiful fabric. I don't know if you'll be able to see the colours. It's just really delicate. It's called linnet. I don't know if I've mentioned that.
You did.
Did I?
What weight yarn is this?
This is a fingering weight.
Yeah.
So it's thinner than that.
Yeah.
but I think it's knitting up really, really beautifully.
I think,
and because of the alpaca, I'm hoping that it will just ooze a little bit when I've blocked it, fill in a couple of gaps, and just, it's going to be so drapey.
it will drape really nicely, won't it? I love this. And there's a sort of almost a sheen to it, isn't there?
Well, that's the silk. But yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. They've got this colourway in their other bases, but the singles, it's beautiful on that as well. It looks slightly different, as colourways do on different bases. It's sort of a bit deeper, I think.
Yeah.
And
because you were thinking you wanted to do this in singles.
I couldn't decide.
Yeah.
But I'm really pleased that I went with this one, because I think it will be lovely for this pattern. And there were only 3 skeins, so I thought, oh, okay, I'll just order it when I get home. And it's fine. But then I asked if they had any, scrolled away, and she just came up with this like armful of this colourway, which was, I was so happy.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Because you really did want to get...
I wanted to get it there.
Yeah.
So the same, I came home, balled up a skein and cast it on that night. And this one I'm not going as like tunnel vision with, because I am trying to finish up a few other things, and I know the pattern now, so I feel like it can be more of a relaxed knit. So I'll do exactly the same modifications as I did on the first one. I'm doing the same size. I'm using these needles again. I still haven't remembered to look at how you pronounce, but they match rather beautifully, which is what matters. And yeah,
so this yarn is finer.
Yep.
So did you swatch? Do you know?
Well, no.
Okay.
I didn't with that one either.
Oh, right, okay.
Because why would you do something sensible like that?
It is sensible to swatch,
It's very
isn't it?
sensible. But I'll get to the armholes. I'll
Right.
try it on.
Yeah.
If it fits, I'll continue. If it doesn't fit, I'll go up to the next size.
So you'll rip it all back?
No, I'll just continue to increase.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see, okay.
I'll wing it. It'll be
Yeah.
fine.
I think it often saves time to swatch.
I know, I think...
Says she who doesn't knit very much.
No. I think the problem is I've never been really bitten by not swatching. So I think had I had that awful experience where I've knit something and it's come out way too big or way too small, because even that Newsom cardigan, actually the Newsom cardigan, it's the grey one that I knit for me, but you have.
Okay, yes.
See, I swatched for that, and it still came out the wrong size.
Oh. Yeah, and the sleeves were much too long, so you're going to adjust those, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah, never swatch again then.
no, I still think you failed me once. That's it. But no, if it did happen that this was completely the wrong size, I'd be fine about ripping it out and starting again.
Yeah.
Because it's enjoyable to knit anyway. So I just really like it, and I'm really intrigued about how this colourway is going to look when I start doing the longer rows and then the short rows and stuff. I just think it's beautiful. So yes, that is another work in progress. I just want to knit so many cardigans at the moment. My next cardigan is the one that inspired me to get the yarn for that cardigan, because it's from the Knitting Shed, it's Ainsworth and Prynne from the Knitting Shed. That's the name of their yarn line, and I was just enjoying the yarn so much that I thought I have to have some more of their yarn to make another cardigan. I'm not making jumpers at the moment because it will just have too far to stretch. So I think cardigans are just more sensible for me at the moment. Even though I'm 36 weeks pregnant now, so this won't necessarily be there for very much longer.
But you sent me a picture of a jumper that you wanted to knit today.
I did.
Yeah.
I need to research that.
Okay.
It's in DK. I can't remember the name or anything.
Mm.
But it's really oversized.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
It's
tempting.
nice. Mm.
So this one is the Floozy cardigan by Truly Myrtle. And I just thought this looked really fun.
Mm.
And you were over and we were, because Libby did a great job of sort of really getting interest in this pattern, building it up, because I'd seen the pattern and I thought, yeah, I'd like to knit that. So we looked for yarn, because you were around, I think we were sorting through my studio, weren't we, and organising my stash and stuff like that. And then I was ready to download the pattern and it wasn't out for another week.
That's right.
So I thought,
That was
oh
so
no.
funny.
I was ready, but it's okay because the anticipation just made it even more satisfying when the pattern did come out and I was able to start. But I'm knitting this. See, this is one where it could, I haven't swatched. And this is one where it could be an issue because it might be too big.
Oh, that's okay because I can have it.
We'll see. There are options in the pattern.
I can always hope.
There are examples. So Libby's knit 2 and one I think has got negative ease or no ease, so it's fitted to her measurements, and the other one has 4 inches of positive ease, so it's 4 inches bigger than her measurements, and I've gone with one that's 4 inches positive ease when I'm at my normal size.
Right.
But then you do this colour work in, it's all slip stitches, so you're never working with more than one colour at a time in a row. So if you're nervous about colour work or anything, then it's a really good way to get the colour work look, but without having to work with more than one strand of yarn at the same time. But because it's slip stitches, I didn't like how it looked tension wise, and I think tweed is I do find it sort of twistier than non-tweed yarn, so the tension of it was just upsetting me a little bit. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
so when I got to the end of the colour work section,
Yeah.
I put it on scrap yarn and I blocked it just to see what it looked like, to make sure that that tension would all even itself out, so when I got the garment finished I'd be happy with it. And the yoke was huge. It was like, it looked like a shawl, which makes sense I suppose because you have a shawl on your shoulders, so that might not be that big, but it did look enormous. So I did start thinking, oh, I don't know, I might have gone up a size too much.
But you tried it, didn't you? And it seemed okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
It looks better now it's on a shorter needle,
Yeah.
but that's misleading, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I just love how it looks in the tweed. So I've used, this one is Butterbur by Ainsworth and Prynne from the Knitting Shed, and it's a slubby sock, so it's 85 superwash merino and 15% viscose nep, and it's so soft. If you've had how soft it is.
I know.
And I just love the colour.
Yeah.
I got this at Unravel actually in February. Do you not remember?
Oh yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes.
Because I got a couple of jumper
Yes,
amounts
you did.
from Unravel, which was very exciting. And I've sort of been saving it. There's been a few jumpers, a few cardigans that I've sort of been thinking, oh, that'd look really nice in that. But then I thought, no, I'm just going to use it because it was perfect for this pattern. And then the white is Regia Tren Tweed in the natural colour. And I have to say, I'm really delicate at the moment with yarn.
Right.
And I don't know why, but Usually I can withstand slightly scratchy yarn just fine, but at the moment I'm really delicate and I just want all the soft things. And the Regia is a little bit scratchy.
Is it?
Yeah. So I'm glad that it's only in a few little places.
It is for you. 'Cause you're
It is
delicate,
compared to
yeah.
these indie dyed ones.
True.
And it was while I was knitting it. It's very, very strange for me. Because it's not that scratchy, but it felt a bit. Because I'm a delicate flower. And the pink is the Wool Barn. I had this lovely set of tweed minis, and I couldn't decide between this green and the pink.
Yeah.
But I'm really glad I went with the pink.
Yeah, yeah. I think the pink's more you.
Yeah.
It's really lovely pattern, isn't it? I love
Yeah.
these,
It's
where
in
these stitches go.
these slip stitches to form the colour work is genius. It's such an interesting technique.
And it looks really lovely, doesn't it?
And I'm excited about it in tweed. I haven't got a tweed garment.
That really surprises me because
I know,
you
because I love
tweed.
tweed. I've got lots of socks in tweed. So I'm knitting this on 3.5mm needles, which are the recommended ones in the pattern. Just hoping for the best. That works out gauge wise, but it gives a lovely tension in the yarn, so I'm hoping it'll be fine. And I'm using my higher bamboo interchangeables because I'm still loving wooden needles. So I've got a little bit left on this ball. And I think, to be on the safe side, because it's sort of straight down, I will start alternating in another skein when I get a bit closer to the end. But before I do that, I'm going to do the sleeves.
That sounds like a really good idea because then you get them out of the way.
Exactly. So, yeah. I think that might be why I've just sort of like put it down for a bit.
Probably.
Because I know that now's the time that I really need to start the sleeves. But that's okay. So, gosh, just feel like I'm rattling through loads of works in progress. Never mind. Another thing that I got from the Southern Wool Show was, these just the cutest things ever. So we saw down Sheepy Lane at Yarningham, and I saw that she had these adorable little bags, and it's 50 grams of self-striping and then 20 grams of a contrast mini. But I didn't get one, and I regretted it. So I was really happy to see her at the Southern Wool Show, because, and we were there really early, weren't we? We were like, we were there just as it opened, weren't we? So there were still lots left. I could choose what colour I wanted, and so I got this one, which is Tea Rose, which is so pretty, and then this one, which is Under the Apple Tree. Oh, and I just think it's so pretty. I wonder if you'll be able to see. I just love this one because the colours are just so autumnal, and then I really liked the the speckled stripe, and that comes with, it comes with some different colour minis actually, but the one I went for is this one. Oh, I suppose you can see it on the toe, but it's sort of a raspberry pink, which I think is lovely. So I thought I'd start these. I feel like I'm sort of preparing lots of really simple patterns because at some point time will be less abundant and I will probably be tireder. So having these things that I can just
do a few rows.
Yeah. And like my cardigan, that's just playing back and forth when I've done the sleeves, so that will be really great for just picking up. And my other vitamin D, that's familiar, so I'll be able to do that. So yeah, I started a pair of socks, and these are toe up because it's a 50 gram ball and I want to make sure I get 2 socks of the same length. I might add in a different colour for the heel and then use the contrast mini for the cuff. I haven't decided. I think what I'm going to do is weigh a couple of my short pairs of socks just to make sure that I'll be able to get the right sort of length out of the yarn, which I'm sure I will, because I never use more than 70 grams for a pair of socks.
Are you going to make sure that the stripes are all exactly the same on both?
No.
No.
Because...
You're not keen on doing that, are you?
Well, I don't like the pressure of doing that.
Okay.
But also, because it is only a 50 gram ball, I don't want to waste any. So wherever this one ends, this one will start. It might so happen that they end in the same place. So I did a Turkish cast on with these, and I had a complete brain blank of how to do a Turkish cast on. And honestly, it's such a simple cast on. I love it for...
yeah, because you were watching the...
Yeah.
And I wondered why, when I asked you what you were
I've done it
watching.
multiple times before.
Yeah.
But there's a brilliant tutorial, and it's by Christy from the Relatively Crafty podcast. She's got such a clear and just fantastic tutorial. I'll link it in the show notes. So yeah, I was watching that around your house, trying to get my socks started. And you know, even though I've done it multiple times before, my brain just was not working, and so I was stuck in the mind of, oh no, this must be how you do it. So I was watching along and I was still doing it wrong because I was doing it in a way that I was convinced I was supposed to be doing it. But then when I actually followed the instructions, I got a lovely toe. So yes, I really enjoy that cast on for toe up socks. And I'm using my ChiaoGoo minis, and these are interchangeable sock needles, and I love them so much.
Do you?
This cable is just the best cable in the world for sock knitting. It's firm, it doesn't twist up, it's got the metal core like in the regular ChiaoGoo red lace needles, so it doesn't kink or anything like that. It doesn't have a mind of its own. It does exactly what you want it to do, and it's so smooth, and the needles are so smooth. I love those needles. Embarrassingly, I think I've got 6 sets of 2.25 tips. Just in case.
Just in case you've got that many socks on the needles.
Yeah, I've got 4 sets of 2mm, 4 sets of 2.5, even though I don't use 2mm rarely. But you just never know. I'd hate to count my higher DPNs, that would just be... But you just never know how many socks you're going to need to knit at once, do you? So yeah, I'm enjoying those very much. And my last work in progress, this is an unexpected one, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
This is in my lovely bag from Kettle Yarn Company that I got when we went to the Creativity Festival. Marketplace.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I showed it in the last episode. And I've got such a good pin on there. I'll put in the close up. This one, it's inspired by the Rocky Horror Show, which is it's my favourite musical, no contest. And this is also a Rocky Horror Show pin. It's from this shop called Liz Harry, I think. I'll put links in the show notes. She has some really good ones. Right. We were in John Lewis. I can't remember why we were actually in John Lewis, but we had a little look in the wool section, as we usually do if we go there. And there was this blanket, and it was just a simple square little blanket on one of the shelves, and we felt it, and it was just so soft, wasn't it?
It was.
So soft and so cute. So we bought some yarn to knit a blanket, and it's Serdar Snuggly Patter Cake. It's a DK weight yarn, and it's 70% acrylic and 30% polyamide. And I got this colourway, which is lots of different shades of blue, although I was convinced there was yellow in there.
Well, the label does have yellow in it.
Yeah, but it does on all the colourways.
Oh, does it?
So, yeah, because on the label it has it going from blue to white to yellow to mint to blue. So I assumed that we could just see the blue and the white, but no, it's a different colourway. And it comes in this sort of wheel, which looked much neater before I'd started knitting with it. And I thought, oh, I'll start from the middle because then the yellow will be a surprise when that comes out, because I can't see it in there. I should have known at the time, shouldn't I? I wouldn't do that again because it's just gone really floppy and awkward. But yeah, the blanket pattern is in the ball band, and it's literally just a increase till you've got half of your yarn. So weigh your yarn, increase till you've got half of your yarn left, and then decrease again.
And that would be great, just to bung in the washing machine, won't it?
Yeah, and it's so incredibly soft. So I bought another one.
I know.
I just seem to like doing it. I
You
think
didn't get that from John Lewis, did you?
No. I just think I like familiarity at the moment. So that's just what's going on. So yeah, I've got to the stage where I've just started to decrease now.
But the other one you got is a different colour, isn't it?
It's a different colour. It's lilac. It's got pink, yellow, mint. It's very pretty.
Or has it?
Well, I can actually see it in the ball this time. So yeah, this is just getting the odd row here and there when I feel like it. But it's very satisfying when you don't want to use any brain power.
Were you
really
knitting on that yesterday evening? Oh no, you were doing your socks.
I knit a bit on this as well.
Yeah, I thought you did.
Yeah. And it's neat, isn't it? I don't think this will need blocking or anything. It's so certainly been a long time since I've used acrylic, but this is really pleasant, and it's satisfying my need for things to be really, really soft as well. So that's technically my last work in progress. That's going to be a work in progress, isn't it?
Well, I've sort of started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you didn't bring any to show us.
No.
because it's only in the early stages.
Yes. But I decided that I wanted to do something every day. So I've just got a Moleskine, and so I'm doing a journal page every day, and then I'm doing I think it's 7x9 little quilt type thing. And so what I'm going to do is, so to make the sort of background fabric, I'm just going to use scraps that I've got to make that, and just, you know, sew lines to fix it, and then do some sort of little applique that's something to do with the day that I've written in my journal. So that's what I've started to do. So I've written a few days, or doodled a few days, and then I've got the backgrounds ready, and over the weekend I'll do the appliques, and then I'm just going to stick that to the other side of the journal. So that's what I'm going to do.
And this was inspired by a project that you did in 2010, which you have bought.
Yeah, which was again using a Moleskine.
The one you're using for the new one's bigger, isn't
Bigger,
it?
yeah. It's a bigger size.
I wonder if you can see. It's so full because of all of the quilts.
Yeah.
And all of these sort of scalloped edges are the envelopes that the little quilts are in.
Yeah.
I'm going to put in some close-up video because that would be easier to see.
I didn't know when I started it that that's what would happen.
Yeah.
I was just
but
thinking,
it's turned an art project into an art piece as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So I just love it. I think it's lovely.
It was great fun doing it. So what I did was every day, when did I start it? So I started it on the 15th of August 2010, and that day Auntie Jack and I went for hot chocolate and cake in town. So I did, and they're all this size.
Yeah. So you've gone with a bigger Moleskine and a bigger quilt.
Thing. But we went for hot chocolate and cake, and so I did a little quilt that's got hot chocolate and cake on it. And
this is made with colour catchers.
Yeah, it is. And I think the front bit is. No. Yeah, some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've typed out some text onto fabric and printed it out.
Yeah.
And the cream on your hot chocolate is a bit of lace.
Yeah. And then the
That's
sprinkles
so
are little French knots. So that was it was a lovely thing to do with Auntie Jack, and there's a memory of it.
Yeah.
Of the date that we did that, so it started on.
So you're doing the journal page.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
And then at the weekend you'll turn them into little quilts, or if you get time in the week.
Yeah, I'll do it.
But it doesn't have to be the same day.
No. But then I put these.
I wonder if we'll be able to show the journal pages.
I don't think so, because it's so cramped. But
let me try.
I was thinking what but I was thinking, how can I secure those little tiny quilts, little quilts inside this? And I thought of an envelope, but I didn't just want to have an envelope, so I scalloped the edges.
Did you cut the edges with scissors?
I did.
Oh, Mum! That must have taken forever.
Yeah. And on the envelope, I've done a doodle as well.
Oh yeah.
So this one was on the 17th of August, and I was listening to a story tape, and it was Wire in the Blood. So I've done a quilt of Wire in the Blood. So yeah.
And these ones have got buttons on them.
Some of them have. Yeah. That was a rainy day. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that fabric.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you try and use scraps?
I did.
Mostly.
I did.
And then you've written on the back the date as well.
Yeah.
In case they come out.
Yeah. So that it's raining, and that was Wednesday, the 25th of August 2010. So yes. So
The only thing is, just having a thought about your new project, if you stick the quilt in and it makes this sort of shape again, it's going to be difficult to look through. It's going to be difficult to look at the quilts.
that's very true, actually. So maybe I do need to do the same with envelopes.
Or attach them in some other way.
Some other way, yeah. Interesting thought. That I will have to ponder. Anyway, so I thoroughly enjoyed that. And sometimes I do take them all out and read through the journal. I think I've only done it once. And then put it all back together.
Yeah.
So.
But you also like doing things like organising crayons by colour, don't you?
Oh, I do, Jan.
Yeah.
So I used to do that
I
a
can
lot
see
when I was
why that
little.
appeals to you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
Yeah.
I really want to try and get some nice video of that.
Right.
Because it's just so interesting and so much fun. And you're not like trying to find big moments in the day, are you?
Oh, no,
You're really sort
no.
of cataloguing the
Yeah.
sort of lovely little things that could so easily be forgotten.
Yeah. So for the one that I'm doing for one of the days, I'm going to do an applique of of the cup I use in the morning, which is a cup with snowdrops on, and it's a cup that Auntie Jack gave me, I think it was for a birthday present. And I love that cup, and I use that every morning.
Yeah.
So I thought that would be a nice thing to do. Yeah.
Oh, that's
So,
exciting.
and another one I'm going to do is, so you've got the fabric, and then I'm going to do this shape, and then it's going to be stripes, just sewn stripes, and it's your bump. I
I
thought
do
that might
usually
be
wear
interesting.
stripes, don't I?
You do, yeah. Or a lot of your maternity clothes are stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't wear them on the podcast because of them making the camera covered.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
well, that's exciting.
yes.
I can't wait to see
Yeah.
that one come together.
Because we do things like that sometimes, don't we? Like we did that project where we had a jar and we'd filled it with words, and then one of us would pick out the word, and then we'd make that something else that's interesting, because I made little quilts and they were all the same size, but you were way more creative than that, because one of them,
Not more creative.
well, different.
Yeah,
because,
just different.
yeah, one of them you made a 3D house thing, didn't you?
Oh, I made a little papier-mâché, like, doll thing, didn't I?
Yeah. Did you use different media?
Yeah.
But you made a fabric house too.
That was like a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't even know where those things are now.
They're probably at my house in one of
Do you
the.
reckon?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's nice sometimes to set yourself a creative challenge, isn't it? Especially for someone like you who will actually do it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I really love the idea, but I get sidetracked. But you have to just find the way that works for you,
absolutely,
don't you?
yeah.
And so it might be that I say, oh yeah, I'm going to do this for such and such amount of time, and I manage like 5 days. But then that could have sparked something that makes me think of something else to do.
Yeah.
I don't have the maybe discipline to really stick at it like you do, because I start thinking of the other things.
Yeah, but there's no right or wrong way, is it? It's
But it's
just
just finding the way that you work best, isn't it?
yeah, because the worst thing to do is say do 5 days and then think, oh, I'm a failure, I'm useless, I can't do this. That's just a complete waste of energy.
Or do 5 days and think, right, well that's it, I've failed. I won't do any more now.
Yeah.
Because you can start it up again at any time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think we as women are really, skilled at feeling guilty about everything and thinking we failed and stuff.
It's no good bringing that into your creative life.
No.
There's no benefit in that at all.
Not healthy.
So that's very exciting.
I feel very excited.
It makes me
about
want to start my own challenge that I know I won't complete. So maybe I will. you've got other things there. I wanted you to show
Yeah.
those.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
a little while ago, it was for my birthday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mum made me some of these. I don't know what to call them. So they're basically just little rounds.
Face cleaning pads.
Yeah,
Mm.
to replace cotton wool pads.
Mm.
And to just try and be a bit more
Thoughtful.
sustainable
Mm. Lots of people
with
are
our
doing
lives. Oh gosh, yeah, there's loads of,
Mm.
and some people make them out of crochet and
Yeah.
all sorts of different things.
Mm.
But these ones are flannel on one side, and then some of the ones that I've got have got flannel on the other
Yeah,
side as
that's
well.
what you wanted, wasn't it?
And then some others have got cotton on the other side. That looks like linen.
I have put linen on mine, yeah. Yeah.
And I've been using them now since my birthday, and they're brilliant. They're really, really good to use. So it's one layer of flannel, one layer of thin cotton, and one layer of either flannel or cotton on the other side for the ones that you've done.
Mm.
And yeah, I just really like them. They get much better after you've washed them the first time because they're much more absorbent. But you've literally just stacked those 3 fabrics together, drawn around something. What did you draw around?
Oh, I've got a set of circles, so I
Oh,
just
right.
used the second one of that.
And then you've just done a running stitch
Yeah.
and trimmed round
Yeah.
a little bit outside the running stitch. And they do fray a little bit,
Doesn't
but not.
matter. No.
Mine have stopped fraying now.
Yeah.
So
I think I just draw it on the linen, just draw it, and then sandwich them all together, and then do loads of circles on the machine, and then cut them out.
yeah.
Mm.
That means that you can get the most out of the fabric as well, doesn't it? Because
Yes,
you can
it
butt
does.
them up closer
Yeah.
to each other.
Mm.
But I put them on my Instagram a little while ago, and a few people have asked about them, so I wanted you to
Oh, okay.
bring them over so that we could show them on here.
Yeah, because I've just made those for me.
Yeah,
Well, I made about 30, I think.
yeah.
And you just use them in the morning and in the evening, pop them in a little
Delicate's bag.
Yeah, and then plug them in the wash.
Yeah.
Mm.
And 30 is a good amount, I think.
Mm.
I tend to wash mine with my bed sheets
Oh, okay.
because I know I'm going to change them once a week, so.
Mm.
But yeah, they're really good, and I love mine.
Mm. Yeah, I think some of yours are a bit smaller than this, aren't they?
Yeah, I've got some that
Yeah.
size and some smaller
Okay.
for taking off mascara and stuff.
Yeah.
And the mascara doesn't come out of the, you can still see black marks on the,
After you've washed them.
yeah,
Oh.
but that's fine.
Mm.
They're still clean. So I only use the smaller ones for that. But yeah, I really like that you can reuse them, and I'm not using cotton wool because
Yeah.
I used to use a lot of that. So
Mm.
shall I talk about one of my finished objects
Yep.
now?
Yep.
So I've already talked about my vitamin
Vitamin
D,
D.
and this is something that may surprise you.
Oh.
This is in my Alex Collins Designs bag, and I forgot to mention in the last episode that Alex has started a podcast, which is lovely. So I'll put links in the show notes for you to go over and have a watch.
Oh.
But check these out.
You finished them.
Well, they're not finished in the way that they've got ends
But
sewn
the
in and
sleeves are
blocked.
done.
They've got sleeves. Can you believe it?
Actually, no,
No.
I can't.
Me neither.
Because I thought it was so hilarious that you even got your sleeve thing on these tiny little garments.
I know.
So I knit a sleeve on there, didn't I?
You knit some of the body on here and one of the sleeves.
Yeah.
But I knit the other sleeve.
Wow.
And I knit these. I think you knit one of these sleeves.
Did I?
But I knit the other sleeve.
That's marvellous.
I know, it just happened.
Yeah.
It was like I was overcome by something.
Yeah.
And so yeah, now they've got sleeves, which is
So
really
do
exciting.
they need blocking and then they're...
They need ends
already?
sewing in, blocking,
Yeah.
and then they're all done.
Oh.
So this is a newborn vertebrae. I talked about it in the last episode. I used 5 Moons yarn, and then this is leftovers from some mini skeins from some socks that I made out of beehive yarns. and it's got 2 sleeves. And this one is a flax light, although I did garter stitch shoulders instead of the garter stitch panel, like in the So Faded jumper. And this is Fine Fish Yarns in 24 Hour Party People that I just love.
I like
Can you just
Fine Fish Yarns.
Can you believe how just luminous?
So those little green pops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. It's sort of a mint green base. This is another colour that's quite complex.
Would you say that was a mint green base?
Well, it depends what light you're looking at, actually, doesn't it? Because
Yeah,
there's
it
sort
does.
of like a sky blue there,
Yeah.
but then there's mint if you look there.
It's lovely.
And then there's pops of fluorescent yellow, pink, green, brown. I love it. And it's got 2 sleeves. Oh no! Bobbin's come to join us because he was coaxed down by the fact that he had to bark at the postman. And now Teddy is at the door, at the window, trying to get in.
Do you want me to go and let him in?
Yeah, better. He's so funny.
He is funny.
So anyway, where were we? We just talked about those.
Yes.
Then
we
my
just
battery
talked about-
died.
Yeah, and your cut jumpers and your
Oh yeah, my
cardigans and
jumpers.
sleeves.
Yeah,
Oh, cardigan sleeve.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to show us some of your quilts?
Oh, well, yes.
You have finished 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quilts
Yeah.
since the last podcast.
Yeah, and they're all simple.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So, finished this one. This was just, the fabric was just hexagons. And, yeah. So just simply sewed all round,
Here a bit.
sewed all round the hexagons. And that was wonderfully therapeutic. I love just machining straight lines. Yeah. So that one's finished because you wanted that one, didn't you?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. I think
Love it, don't you, Bobbin?
David's despairing at the amount of quilts that are coming into your home.
I think he's surprised at how many quilts one household can have. But it's a lot. One household can have a lot of quilts, and that's
Yeah.
he
And-
benefits from them.
Yeah, and your household's got more quilts than I have.
Yeah. But your household has more socks, hand-knit socks than mine
That's
does.
very true.
So
Yeah.
I think these are probably a little bit more time intensive. But
What
anyway,
does that say? For Danny, love from Mama, August 2018.
I just had to show the label because it's just so lovely.
So that's one.
So yeah, that's getting a lot of use already.
Yes.
Next.
This, it's because you liked this film, didn't you?
I love Finding Dory. I just love
Yeah,
that film.
you-
It's just so...
You really do. And a couple of years ago, when Auntie Jack and I were at the Birmingham Quilt Festival, there was a panel of Finding
Dory.
Dory. So I bought it for you,
Yeah.
and then so I just put it together as a quilt and just sewed around all the animals. Yeah, you love it, don't you?
I love it.
That's just very simple.
I thought it would be lovely for the baby to
Lot.
lay on.
Yeah,
It's
Put it,
nice
pop
and
it on the
bright.
floor, and
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's
that's that
lined with this
yeah,
blue and white stripe.
yeah,
It reminds me of deck chairs and beach huts.
yeah.
So very seasidey.
Did you put a label on that one?
Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. What would Dory do?
And you haven't Or is it just my quilts? You don't always do a lovely, pretty embroidered label, do you?
I always label my quilts.
But not with your extra little embroidery.
No, sometimes.
'Cause they're lovely.
Mm. Well, I know you'll appreciate that. And the next one is the Peter Pan one. That's all
that
finished.
sounds so nice.
And that was just simply quilted, just diamonds, which I love doing. Just with the walking foot and backwards and forwards, and yeah. So that's that one finished.
That's lovely.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's got a lovely backing as well that you got for when you went to the Festival of Quilts earlier
This time, yeah.
this year
Yeah.
with Auntie Jack.
Yeah. And
And
this.
the binding we got from Fabric HQ, didn't we?
Yeah, you chose the binding, didn't you? Because we weren't sure what binding.
No, but I think that works really well.
Yeah, you're really good at thinking of, you know, what will go well.
I don't know.
And this was the biggest disappointment ever.
I think that's harsh.
Mm.
It's disappointed you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has.
But I still think it's beautiful.
Yeah, because this was what I chose to do for my grandson in lovely fabric, and I omitted to tell Danielle, like when I give Danielle a quilt, she likes washing it.
Because it makes it just all cosy. And
Yes, but I omitted to tell you that this was wool batting.
yeah, but you say you omitted to tell me, but you didn't know that it should be treated any different.
No, because I hadn't read the label.
No.
And I
So-
just had forgotten that it was wool.
Yeah.
So you put it in a 40 wash, and so it's
So what
It's
happened
coming
was
through
some of the
and-
wadding came through the fabric,
yeah.
and
And I thought, oh, I'm never using that wadding again. That's
Yeah.
dreadful. And then looked at the label on the batting.
it was very clear about
It was very clear.
not washing it so hot, wasn't it?
No, hand wash, all very delicate.
But if you'd have read that beforehand, you probably wouldn't have used
I
that
wouldn't have
wadding
used it,
for
no.
this quilt.
No.
So it wasn't that we would have treated it differently, you just wouldn't have used it for this
No.
quilt. So you've been trying a couple of different types of wadding, haven't you?
Yeah. My favourite's 80/20, and that's what I'm going to use forevermore. I'm never using any other.
Right. Well, it was a worthwhile experiment
Yeah.
then.
Well, but you like polyestery wadding,
do.
don't you? Because you
Did any
like
that we
it.
get? Are any of them polyester?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I like them a bit squishy,
Yeah. And I don't. I like quilts
flat.
flat.
But it's so beautiful, and it's not ruined at all. It's just not exactly what you wanted it to look like, and the wadding upset you.
But yeah,
So
I was very
I
disappointed.
still think it's beautiful, and it's backed blue flannel, which is going to be so cosy and soft. And you've used the same. So this was a bundle of fat quarters, wasn't it? The blues,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you've added in
Yeah.
this one,
Starry
which is
one.
the backing of the Peter Pan quilt.
Yeah. And I got that fabric from Festival of Quilts, and it was
This star one.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's I can't remember what measure, but I think it's 60 something inches wide, and it was very, very reasonable. It was only about £7 a metre.
It's
But
really
it's
lovely.
Really lovely, yeah.
It's got mustard in there and pink as well, which
Yeah.
is really nice.
Yeah. So that's that one. And then this one is the most important, well, not the most important one, but this one is the important one, because that's the one that you're taking into hospital with you.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we showed this just as a quilt top last time, and I think
Yeah.
you finished it like a couple of days later, didn't you?
Yeah.
And it's so lovely. So this is the washed and worn.
Yeah.
And it's got this floral on the back.
Yeah. And the label on this says, "For my daughter, hello grandson."
So yeah, it's absolutely lovely, and you bound it with leftovers from this, which I really love.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is covered in dog hair because I've been using it.
Yeah.
Because that's what I really wanted,
Yeah.
to sort of be able to use it. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
And have those nice associations
Mm.
with it before I took it with me, and
Mm.
it's so lovely and soft and just
Yeah.
so pretty.
And that was just very simply quilted.
You say that, I don't know what.
Well, it's how I like to quilt, just with the walking foot and doing straight lines.
Yeah.
I find it really sort of calming and therapeutic and just lovely.
Mm.
Whereas when I do free motion, I get sort of quite tense.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think anything else on this quilt would just not work, would it?
Well, I think what would work better is just lines of hand quilting.
Oh no, we haven't got time for that, have we? That's lovely.
Yeah. So they're all the quilts, and then there's another one on the go in washed and worn for
Yeah.
this, for the baby, and also the one with bunny fabric.
Yeah.
That's on the go.
It's quite a lot of quilts, isn't it?
Yes, that you decided that you needed.
I'd like to have, I mean, they're not all for him. Two of them
are yours.
Yeah. But I'd quite like a little shelf in his room with some quilts folded
Yeah.
up on. And that would be really nice.
Mm. Yeah.
And the other washed and worn you got from Festival of Quilts when you went this time, didn't you?
Yeah. And that's sort of a blue and white mainly.
But it's not flannel, is it? It's more like shirting.
Yes,
Fabric,
it is.
so it's
Yeah. But
bit
it's still very
different.
soft.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's going to be backed with flannel, isn't it?
Yes,
The
that flannel
sort
that you got the other day.
Yeah.
The most expensive flannel in the world.
It was expensive because it's quite a narrow. I think it's 40 inches or something.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's 40 inches. It's quite narrow.
Mm. It will look really nice though. Sort of, is it like a beigey colour with some golden stars?
Yeah, it's sort of a very pale, lemony, mustardy, very pale, with little stars on. Yeah.
So my last finished object, last thing, have you got any more things? No. Is my Twinkle Twinkle baby blanket by Curious Handmade. And I knit this out of King Cole bamboo cotton DK weight.
Yeah, it's lovely.
And it's all finished.
It's lovely.
But it's nice and cool, and it's got a nice sort of drapey weight to it, which I really like. I didn't do the lace edging. I think I mentioned last time that I wasn't going to do that. I did an I-cord edging around the whole thing. And I think I did the I-cord from the wrong side. And I think I did that because I think that's what I did on your blanket with the sock, all the sock yarn squares. But I finished this very soon after we podcasted last time, and it's been folded up in his hospital bag, so I can't quite remember anymore. But I did block it. Well, actually, did I? I put it in the washing machine because I wanted to see how it would wash, and then I laid it out to dry, and I did pin it, but I laid it out on its front so that the I-cord couldn't roll in, and it stayed very much where it should, which is good. But yeah, I really enjoyed this pattern. I really like how it looks. I just love the little pattern. It's such a lovely texture, isn't it? Really simple, but really effective.
Have you started another one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in fingering weight yarn. I don't know how much I'll do on it,
Yeah.
but and I love that. Isn't that a lovely, neat line? how the increases are done. It just makes such a nice neat line. So yeah, happy to have that one finished. He's got a lot of blankets.
Yeah.
So we've just got to hope that he's nothing like David, because David is hot all the time.
As you are at the moment.
Well, yeah, but that's not normal. But, so we're hoping he has my normal temperature, not David's. Because David is literally hot all the time, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
He'll be in winter clothes and he'll be wearing shorts. It's just so bizarre.
Yeah.
So while we were at Fibre East, when we were at the Southern Wool Show, I've shown you both of the things I got there. I got the yarn from this yarn, from Ainsworth and Prynne at the Knitting Shed, and the two little self-striping, lovely, cute. That's just so cute. Oh, and we got scissors, didn't we?
We did get little scissors each. Yeah.
Little rose gold scissors.
Yeah,
They're just so cute.
pretty.
That were irresistible. And we got scissors. We didn't buy any scissors at Fibre East.
We didn't buy any
No.
scissors at Fibre East, but we
Did
did.
at Yarningham,
Yes.
but I think we did quite well not getting any at
Yeah.
Fibre East.
We've got too many scissors. Well,
No.
you can never have too many
No.
scissors. But we do have.
Because scissors hide,
They do.
so you have
Yeah.
to have quite a few sets.
Yeah. In my sewing kit that I've got in my Jessie Chorley bag, I have 4 sets of scissors because I get so irritated when I'm sewing and then I can't find what I've done with the scissors.
Mm.
So I have 4 pairs in there.
Seems sensible. But when we were at Fibre East, I did get a few skeins. So I got this one from Felt Fusion. It was so lovely to meet Shadow, because she does lots of custom dyes, and she's dyed some really, really special yarn for me. So she's had some clubs where you give her the inspiration and then she dyes up the yarn. So one of the options was something from a film, a scene from a film or something. And my last dog, Brewski, who was just so lovely, wasn't he?
It's everything to you.
He was.
wasn't
I don't want to cry. But he was just so special, and his name came from a scene in Clueless where, because I loved the film Clueless, where Christian said they're charging for brewskis. I had no idea what that meant. But I loved the word brewski, so brewski was called Brewski. And so I sent these, I can't remember if I sent 2 scenes. I think I sent 2 scenes to Shadow to dye the yarn based on, inspired by the film that inspired the name for Brewski, which was just so special. And I don't think I'm ever going to be able to knit with that yarn. It's just hanging up in my studio. And she's done some other ones which have been really nice. So music videos from the 80s. So I sent The Smiths, This Charming Man, which was actually released on the year I was born, and Pet Shop Boys, It's a Sin, and I love those yarns so much. And she's also dyed yarn based on bobbin, on photos of bobbin, and I've knit David some socks with one of the skeins, and I've got another one of the skeins. So, and I've just been so thrilled every time I've received the yarn, because you have no idea how someone else is going to take this inspiration that you've given them. I would probably do it in a different way.
Yeah.
Like everyone would do it in different ways, so it's just lovely to see. So it was really nice to meet her because she's dyed some yarn that's really special to me. And I had to get this skein. This is called Hedwig. I just thought it was so lovely. It's mostly white, and then it's got some greys and blacks, and then some red, orange and blue.
I wonder what you're going to do with it.
I don't know, I was thinking a baby cardigan, but I think I've run out of time now. So maybe when he's here, baby cardigan.
Yeah.
I just think it's lovely. So that was a really lovely purchase, and lovely to meet Shadow as well. And then I got these from the Wool Barn. I got these are in the cashmere sock. Honestly, this base is just heavenly. I bought these 3. Oh, actually you bought me this one to knit something for the baby.
Oh yes.
I was thinking just a newborn vertebrae, just in a larger size, so not newborn, a baby vertebrae, because it's just so soft. But that can happen when he's here, because that's so simple as well. So that one is for him, and that's in the Mist colourway. And then I got these 2 because I had a skein of Smitten in the cashmere sock at home, and I wanted to knit A Girl's Best Friend shawl for ages, since it came out, and Maya had an example, a sample of it hanging on her stand. It was so beautiful.
It was, yeah.
So I got the other colours to add to this one that I already had to knit it up. So I got Pecan, which is the same as in her sample, and then I got Sand, which is actually different. I think the one that she used was grayer.
Okay.
But I just really liked this sort of patty colour. I'd really like to start that shawl. I'm very conscious that I'm just casting on a lot of things at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't work out whether I'm fine with it or feel like I shouldn't.
Oh,
It's a strange...
you don't usually put shoulds and shouldn'ts on.
Well, no, they're pointless, aren't they? We've got enough shoulds and shouldn'ts in other bits of our lives without bringing it into knitting. So, it's just going to be gorgeous.
Yeah, her sample was really nice.
Oh, it's beautiful, wasn't it? And the yarn, you just do want to be wrapped in it because it's so soft. And those colours, oh my goodness, you just can't. They're so lovely. So yes, they were my purchases from Fibre East. What did you get from Fibre East? Oh, you got a dress.
I did, yeah. Yeah.
There's this shop that sells these lovely linen clothes
Yeah.
and yarn.
It used to be called Tall Yarns.
Yeah.
But it's not anymore.
Is it called the Slow Wardrobe now?
Yeah, I think it is.
But they have just beautiful clothes and beautiful yarns, and they're really lovely women as well, aren't
They
they?
are really lovely women.
And you got something else, didn't you?
I got a bag from...
Oh, from Maya,
Yeah.
yeah. Maya's got these lovely project bags with the illustration of the sheep that I believe her partner drew.
Yes, he did, yeah.
And
Auntie Jack and I got one each.
yeah, and you've embroidered onto
Yeah.
yours as well, haven't you? It's
Yeah.
just so cute.
Yeah.
I've already got one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I also got a wool bag from her stand.
Oh yeah, she sells these bags that are made with, are they recycled
Yeah.
fabrics and recycled bits of leather.
Mm.
They're really, really lovely. Yeah, we lingered at her stand
For a long time.
for a long time and went back
And
round.
went back.
And went back round.
And Jack got some nice yarn from there too, didn't
Yeah,
she?
she got some in her alpaca sock base.
Was that for socks?
No, she's knitting a crochet shawl. No,
Oh.
she's not knitting a crochet shawl. She's crocheting a shawl.
Yeah.
And the pattern's by Sandra Cherry Hart.
Yes.
I can't remember what the pattern's called,
Mm.
but I'll link it in the show notes. But she's doing it with this lovely, it's blue, isn't it? It's like a baby blue in the
She's really enjoying it, isn't
alpaca sock base, and oh, it's so lovely. Yeah.
But Auntie Jack was round at mine last night and we had a lovely evening, didn't
So
we?
was I.
I know, I said we had a lovely evening, didn't we? You were knitting on one sofa, and Auntie Jack and I had Dominic's quilt over us, and both of us had our quilting hoops, and we were quilting on the same quilt.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
So I think that's all we've got to talk about today.
Mm.
I'll probably come back and film a few more little bits over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully I'll have my new sock design to show you as well. I've got a few in like planning stages, but I'm hoping one will be ready to come out quite soon. So the pattern sort of with test knitters at the moment, and the tech editor is having a final little glance over it. So it's called Milky Chai, I think.
Right.
And this pattern came about because I stopped drinking caffeine when I got pregnant, and I before that was having a cup of chai every day and I was really missing it. So this pattern, I just wanted to make this pattern, and I got some lovely yarn from Dusty Dimples in the cinnamon colourway, and I thought, cinnamon chai, that all works lovely. So yeah, hopefully that will be ready to show you.
So after the baby's born, you're looking forward to a chai
Yeah,
latte.
some licorice and some blue cheese. Oh yes, I am. And then after the baby's born, there'll hopefully be another pattern, because I have another pattern inspired by. So really. But yes, that is everything that we've got. So thank you for bringing all of your bits and pieces to show.
Well, half of them were already here, darling.
That's true. Thank you for making them then. And I'm looking forward to seeing your project
Yeah,
as it
me
progresses.
too.
I think
Me
that will be
too.
really exciting.
Yeah.
And I am looking forward to knitting some sleeves. Hello, I'm back again today. It's a few weeks later. I'm 39 weeks pregnant now, and I just wanted to pop in today to finish off the podcast so that I can put it out there, and also show you my newest sock pattern, which I'm hoping I'll release about the same time as this podcast. It's all ready, and yeah, I'm really excited to get it out there so that you can see it, and hopefully some of you will want to knit it too. So yeah, here they are. Now these socks, when I found out I was pregnant, I stopped drinking caffeine, and so that meant that I wasn't drinking my sort of daily cup of chai, which I missed a little bit. I think I could have found a caffeine-free version, but for some reason that's literally just struck me now. So I was given this beautiful yarn from Dusty Dimples at J13. Now that was quite a few months ago, but I've been thinking about this sort of chai inspired pattern, and actually I was allowed to choose this yarn, and I chose this colour and then realised that the colourway name was cinnamon. I thought, oh, that would be perfect for a chai inspired pattern. It's such a beautiful yarn. It's a really lovely dusky pink, and then it's got little flecks of a darker brown and then a deeper pink, and it's very, very beautiful and very subtle, which is my favourite type of yarn really. So yeah, I got to thinking about how I would like to sort of interpret my favourite hot drink into a pair of socks. And I mean, chai latte, I always have mine with milk really. Chai latte and socks just have something in common for me, because they're warming, they're comforting, they're just such cosy things. So it just seemed right to make a little chai inspired pair. So I was thinking, well, my favourite parts are the frothy milk. So I've put in a lovely sort of rounded lacy stitch pattern at the top. So that's just the piles of frothy milk, because I do like quite a bit of frothy milk on top of my chai lattes. And then it goes down into a really lovely, relaxing, comforting, simple rib that made me think of cinnamon sticks, one of the delicious flavours in chai, and also relating to the yarn. And I'm really pleased with how they came out. I've done a eye of partridge heel and my favourite heel turn and a rounded toe, so they're just really lovely, cosy socks, and I'm really thrilled with how they've turned out. I think they look just perfect in this yarn, but they strike me as quite an autumnal pair of socks, so I'm really excited that I'm finally able to bring them out now, after them being in my mind and in progress for such a long time. So yeah, I really hope you like them. They're going to be called Milky Chai because that's how I like mine. All of these lashings of frothy milk. So that is my newest pattern, and I'm so excited for them to be out, and I really hope you like them. Really hope you like them. Yeah, I'm very excited. So there'll be the Milky Chai socks, and they'll be on Ravelry very soon, and I'll put links everywhere if you fancy going and knitting them. Yeah, I really hope you do. Because I found them really fun to knit, because you've got, it's just my favourite style of knitting really, where you've got a little bit to concentrate on at the beginning, and then you can just relax into just some really pleasant meditative knitting. Lovely and cosy. So yeah, I do hope you like them. So I have another sock pattern which is getting ready to come out. It inspired by our little one, but that's not going to be out until he's out, so I do hope you'll look forward to that one and like that one too. I'm really excited about that one being out as well. It's partly because I've been working on that pattern since April, I think. And partly because when that's released, it means that he'll be here and we'll have met him, and that's just, it's a little bit mind-blowing still, but yeah, it's getting closer and closer. Yeah, it blows my mind a little bit. So yes, I'll just let you know I'm wearing my Boxy today by Joji Locatelli. I can't remember what size I made this in, but it's just lovely. I'm so tempted to make another one. It was such a pleasant project, and I know I talked about it in a podcast, I think the one before last, but it was such a pleasant project and I was really expecting it to be a bit of a drag. And it's in beautiful yarn from Cozy Posy Yarn Company in Nutmeg, which is just the most perfectly autumnal colour, isn't it? So yeah, I really like that. But yes, the sock pattern is all I wanted to come and show you today. It's still very nerve-wracking putting out patterns. I wonder if that will ever subside. But I'm enjoying the process of designing so much, and seeing other people knit my patterns is just such a treat. It's honestly the most wonderful thing. So thank you very much for supporting my sock pattern writing adventures. It really means so much to me. So yes, that's all I wanted to chat to you about today. And I think, I'm guessing the next time I see you will be when our baby's born. Because, yeah, it should be reasonably soon, I would imagine. It can't be long. Well, we'll see when he fancies coming out. But yeah, I can't. What's life going to look like then? I just don't know. So it'll be exciting to find out. But thank you very much for all of your positive thoughts about it. It's really lovely, and yeah, it's a funny time where you're just sort of thinking, it could be today, it could be in 3 weeks, just don't know. And for those of you who are interested, he still doesn't have a nursery, but he does have a cot, so we've got the essentials there. So he's got somewhere to sleep when he comes out. Yeah, our furniture was delayed, so, but he won't be in his nursery anyway at first because he'll be in with us. So yeah, he's got his little bedside cot, and he's got clothes, and he's got blankets and things, so he'll be just fine until it decides to turn up. So anyway, I am just rambling at you. Thank you so much for watching the podcast today. I'd love to be able to show you Bobbin, but the sun is absolutely beating in through the bedroom window, so he is sunbathing in the other room. But yeah, I hope you have an absolutely lovely time until I see you next, and thank you so much for watching.